Hi Rockstars. Okay, so this is just a brief revision session on summary writing because I really want you guys getting 10 out of 10 this year. Okay, so if you look at the top, so we need 7 points made for your summary to begin with. Again, this doesn't have to be 7 bullet points. We sometimes ask you to write in a paragraph, so you need to be aware of that. Again, you have to have an accurate word count. Okay, on every single summary, regardless of whether it is written, you have to write a word count at the end, and it has to be accurate. When I say accurate, underline there, if you lie, as some people have done in the past, you lose one of your 3 language points. Again, as you can look through the errors here, if you make 2 errors or 1 error, that's absolutely fine. But if you make multiples of 3, that's when you start losing your language mark. So if you make 3 errors, you will lose 1 language mark. If you make 6 errors, so grammar or punctuation errors, you will lose 2 of your language marks. And the same thing can be seen at the bottom, so with your word count. So again, if you go 2 words over, it's not a train smash, but if you go 3, then obviously you lose 1 of your language marks. Okay, and then last but not least, it says here, 3 quoted words is the absolute maximum for you to copy directly from the text. So usually you have to use synonyms. But if I were you, I would forget that completely and just use all of your own words, because sometimes people forget. So use synonyms, and then you will be absolutely fine. For example, instead of saying the man was 53 years old, you could say the gentleman was 53 years old, for example. Okay, so here are the main rules. It looks like a lot, but I'm just going to go through them very quickly. So the most important thing with summary writing is you have to read the instructions. Whoa, I've underlined that a little bit bizarrely, but that is the key here. You've got to read your instructions. We will tell you the purpose, we will tell you what you're summarizing, we'll tell you absolutely everything. So if we ask you to write in a paragraph, and you write in bullet points, obviously you're going to lose marks. Again here, number 2, it says when you have to read the passage, you should only read the passage once, only once, and then highlight on the text things you think are important. It's very straightforward. It doesn't matter how many at that point, just highlight all the things you think are really important there, as I've put for number 3 here. And then you have to do a rough draft, as highlighted there. It is very important you do a rough draft. In your exams, you are expected to do a rough draft, and if you do not, you lose marks. So make sure you do one of those. And don't forget, it's also very helpful for you to see your own errors. And again, we've got another point here, reminder to follow your instructions for correct numbering, etc. Again, if it says bullet points and you do numbered bullet points, like 1, 2, 3, obviously you're going to lose marks there. Okay, and then if you look down, make sure that you've taken out examples and irrelevant details. Some things, if they ask you to summarize in the instructions, if they ask you to summarize the article, say it was about farming, and they ask you to summarize the different types of farming, and then you summarize the age of a particular farmer, that's irrelevant information. So again, it goes all the way back to your instructions. Very important, again. Again, your length. You cannot go over the word limit. As I've said in the previous slide, any violation to that, if you go 3 words over or more, that is obviously you're going to get marked down. And again, don't lie. Underneath it says here, the exact number of words used. If you lie or you make a mistake, you do lose another mark as well. So be very careful. And then here we go, rewriting it neatly. So this is where you've got to use pen. You are not allowed to use pencil. And again, for the previous draft, you've got to draw a line through it. In some exams I've marked, people have done the 2 summaries, but they haven't done a line through their rough work. So make sure you do that as well. And some people also thought, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to reduce my word count. Instead of saying could not, I will write couldn't. And then obviously I've halved the number of words. But as you see here, a summary is formal. You cannot use contractions at all. So every one you do, that will be counted as an error. And again here, the penultimate point, 1 fact per point. don't write two or more things within the same bullet points. So, for example, if we go back to the farming example, don't write, there are 3 different types of farming, and these include. That's no good. You've got to just give me one flat fact per line. And again, just so we don't miss out anybody, read your instructions. If you do not do this, I don't know what I will do. If you've got to read the instructions. Good luck, and be brilliant.